Hey everyone, welcome back to another Pokemon TCG Pocket video. For today's video, we're going to be focusing on the brand new promo card, Mega Medicham EX. Mega Medicham is a Stage 1 180 HP Fighting type Pokemon, who with its attack Chakra Fist can deal 100 damage for 1 Fighting Energy and 2 Colorless Energy. So 3 energy for 100 damage doesn't really sound that good, but if you consider its effect, it starts getting better, right? First of all, with any Psychic Energy attached, it will deal an extra 40 damage with its attack. So 140 is actually much better than just 100. With the fact that it's a Fighting type Pokemon, we can even bring this up to 160 against some opponents who are colorless, dark, or electric type, such as, for example, Mega Kangaskhan EX. So that's pretty good on its own, but what's even better about this attack is that it isn't affected, the damage isn't affected, that is, by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's a bit vague, but basically what that means is that anyone like, for example, Oricorios, who has an effect on them in that we can't hit them with Pokemon EXs, that effect is negated. So that means that Mega Medicham actually hits through Oricorios. They hit through people like Meowth as well, through people like Zoroark. They hit through Mimikyu's ability. Any of these things that would normally prevent us from attacking the opponent will no longer affect us, thanks to Medicham's ability, which I think is really good. Of course, in order to do all of that and take full advantage of Mega Medicham, we are going to need some Psychic Energy, and playing 2 energy in a deck is never a good idea, at least in most instances that I've tried. So instead, we've got just a single Giratina EX. This will be our generator for Psychic Energy. Using its ability Broken Space Bellow, we can get 1 Psychic Energy at the end of every turn by ending our turn. So it will cost us our attacks, but that's okay. We're going to be relying on those big hits later anyways. And if we need it, we can even build up enough Psychic Energy to attack with Giratina itself. So we have our Medicham, we have our Giratina. The issue I was running into with just these two was that Medicham would end up taking a hit, get Cyrused up, and therefore we would lose the game because that's worth 3 points. So the solution I came up with, and because I was running into situations where they would have more health than just the 140 that Mega Medicham could deal, is Jolteon EX. Jolteon EX is not going to be attacking in this game, and in fact is only going to be here for their ability. We brought 2 copies of Jolteon EX so that every time the opponent attaches energy while our Jolteon is in the active spot, as long as they attach it from their energy zone, they'll be taking 20 damage. So this means that anyone like Hydreigon, even if they use their ability, will be taking 40 damage for that. Attaching from your energy zone does 20. So we'll just be throwing damage all over the board. In most cases, bringing them down to some sort of KO range for either our Medicham or our Giratina, and that ends up working out really well. It's a good stall factor as well. It's got 140 health, which is not insignificant. It's enough time for us to put at least 2 energy on our Mega Medicham, and I think that ends up working really well, especially with the boosted evolution Eevee. We can get it out on our first turn, and also with Cyrus, we can pull up any of these Pokemon to take full advantage and deal as much damage as possible before they get time to react. Additional to that, we also have the new Stadium training area, so that each of our Stage 1 Pokemon do 10 more damage, which really is only going to matter for Medicham because, again, Jolteon won't be attacking, but that will now bring our Medicham's attack up to 110 or 150, which is even better. A lot of Pokemon have a resting health of 150, like Mewtwo, Celebi with like a cape or something, with the Stadium even. I don't know. There's a lot of Pokemon at 150. It's a pretty common number in the game, I feel like. Naturally, we also have Dawns for our Giratina so that we can move the energy up to Mega Medicham. And that's pretty much it. In terms of other supporters, we have 1 Sightseer and 1 May, both just for the general purpose of getting our Pokemon. Of course, we also have 2 Pokeballs. I am only packing 1 Research and 1 Copycat in this deck, so it is a bit of a hodgepodge deck. The reason for that is because I was trying to make room for May and Sightseer, because I felt like they came in handy enough that that would be important. I think the deck is just as good if you swap those 2 out for an additional Research and Copycat, though, so to each their own for those supporters. That said, I think the deck is pretty good. It's a lot of fun to play. You get to be really strategic with how you treat Jolteon and how you treat Medicham and when you want to move your energy up, and if you even like to use Giratina as an attacker. So yeah, I think this deck is a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good one. Alright, we're up against Oto-san. So what, like father, I think, in Japanese? I don't know. Anyways, it's a fire type deck, so I don't know, based on the name, probably like a Charizard or something. Yeah, it's Entei, that could be either Charizard or Blaziken, but Oh, that was fast. Alright, well, we can get our Medicham Meditite down. Sorry, I messed that up. And honestly, I think I'll copycat. It's not like we need Medicham right away, and I'd really like to get Giratina and Jolteon this turn. 1 out of 2. And 2 Pokeballs, so there's pretty good chance that we get Giratina this turn as well. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. It's exactly what we want to be starting with. We can get all these guys down. We even have May in hand, so we can get who we need next turn, too. And Sight's here. Pretty good first hand. Okay, yeah. Rocky Helmet isn't going to do too much against us. We're not really going to be hitting them for a minute anyways. So it's Blaziken. Okay. Let's see. Against Blaziken, I'm not really too worried about it. I don't think it should be doing a ton to our Medicham. Sabrina, what are they doing that for? That's fine. I'll have extra turns to put fighting energy on my Meditite anyways, so not too concerned about things there. Honestly, if I had Dawn right now, I could just knock out their Entei. That'd be probably pretty devastating. But I don't. I think I'm gonna go Sightseer for now, just so we can maybe get more cards out of our deck. Nice, okay, we got 2 of them. And usually I don't have time to build up another Medicham anyways, so I'm actually just gonna put another Jolteon down and pivot into that because it's cooler. And, in the case that I need my other Jolteon later, now we have 2 of them, so might as well get that out of the way, you know? We can evolve our Medicham, and we can get another energy on Giratina. Most of the time, I don't really see myself using Giratina as an attacker. It just doesn't come up very often, just because it's a little difficult to get all 3 Psychic energies, but if I can, I usually will, so. Are they going to be attacking right away with Blaziken? It kind of looks like they are, yeah. Okay. I'm actually totally okay with this for a couple of reasons. First of all, they are going to be taking just a little bit of damage from Electromagnetic Wall. And then second, I mean, they can't knock our Medicham out in 1 hit, right? They can get our our Jolteon. Medicham has a good lot of extra health, though. If we wanted, we could even pull up the Entei and knock it out, but that doesn't really, like, do anything for us. I think what I don't like is that I, kind of have to get Dawn if I even want to attack this turn, which would make a big difference, but doesn't matter because we got her. Okay, nice. That's why you thin your deck. You're more likely to pull the cards you actually need. Okay, that makes things a lot better for us. So we might as well get our other Meditite down just for filling our bench purposes. It's not like they can call it up anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna hit with Chakra Fist for 140. And I don't really think there's anything they can do now, considering we have a Cyrus in our hand, right? We have a Cyrus in our hand. Their Blaziken is out of Lily range, right? Unless they get some crazy rolls on the Lucky Ice Pop, I don't really think there's a way that they can recover this, right? Even if they retreat, we just knock them out, like with Cyrus. Okay, yeah, they're going into Entei. Yeah, I mean, I think this is it, right? Yeah. Yeah, they just didn't have a plan for Cyrus. There's nothing they could have done, I don't think. They couldn't out-heal it. Man. There we go, okay. I don't even know why I bothered to put that energy down. Yeah, okay. They conceded. I was gonna attack them, I just, I don't know, I was already putting the energy down. Well, man, that was surprisingly easy. I mean, we almost had kind of a close call there without getting Dawn, but we got it. I mean, 140 is huge damage. So, good game. Alright, we're up against Okiam, I think? I don't know. I don't really know how that would even be said anyways, so... In any case, we're up against a water deck, starting with Giratina. The worst of the possible starters from this deck, but that's fine. We can retreat out of him pretty easy. I do prefer, like, by a lot, to start with Jolteon, if I can help it. Obviously, because of the extra damage for putting energy on. I mean, we can get that thing out turn 1 if we get the cards for it. But, you know, that's not going to happen all the time. Honestly, I think Meditite is fine for a starter, right? They can do a good 30 damage. That can mess with things like Chingling. But honestly, it kind of gets in the way more than it helps, because like then you're losing your Meditite, and then it's harder to set up your Medicham, and then you don't have options for later for dealing big damage if you need it, which is annoying, right? So I'd prefer to keep my Meditite safe on the bench, and there's our Jolteon, by the way, so we can get that out next turn, because we are going to need an extra turn to generate energy for our Giratina now, because we're going to use one to retreat. And additional to that, we're going to have a little bit of trouble getting our Dawn now, because we just shuffled it back into our deck. So hopefully we draw into Professor's Research or something next turn. Or another Copycat. I mean, they have a lot of cards, so would not hurt. Alright. This is kind of an interesting situation. With what they've got down right now, they don't really have any good chance at getting what I can only assume is a Suicune ready, right? And if they're not using that, they're going to be getting a Greninja EX ready, right? Where I feel like Jolteon doesn't really help that much. You know, it does like 20... Well, no, actually it puts it into knockout range of Mega Medicham. This does assume that I get what I want, though. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to retreat. Yeah, stick with the plan, right? Plus I get to use that cool Jolteon card. Not that the Giratina card isn't any cooler, but you get the point. You know, I've actually, like, slowly but surely been trying to complete the Eevee Grove set. Just because it's, like, the only one that I feasibly can complete through trades. I have the 3-star, whatever it's called, and I have the golden... I actually have 2 Eevee backpacks, which is crazy. I don't really think there are too many shinies in that set, and it's not really that big of a set overall, so I thought, like, if there's any set I'm ever going to be able to complete, it's going to be that one. So yeah. Looks like it's not Suicune Greninja, by the way. That's Suicune Primarina. I mean, not Suicune Primarina. It's Greninja Primarina. That's weird. You don't really see Primarina played, like, ever. Okay. Well, we'll just keep setting up, because we still have no signs of life from our Dawn, or any of our other trainer cards. Where are our trainer cards? We just have Copycat. There's 6 cards in here that can draw cards. I guess we use 3 of them. Pokeball count, right? Honestly, I don't remember using them. What do we even use those for? Did I use those so automatically that I forgot about it? That's crazy. On the plus side, putting this Jolteon up is apparently really helpful for that Primarina. Or the Brionne, or whatever. On the not-so-plus side, they've also had a lot of time to set up, so I probably could have knocked their Froakie out by now if I would have just left the energy on Giratina. Sure, let's sightsee. Maybe we can get, like, the other Medicham out of our deck and that'll thin things out. Nope. Okay, well, we have 7 cards left to draw. 2 of those are Dawn. 2 of those are Research, and 1 of those is Copycat. So surely we get some manner of getting Dawn soon, right? That said, I'll put an energy on Mega Medicham and on Giratina just for the ability to attack with either of them. Need I do so? Because right now it's kind of looking like we're not getting to do anything yet. So if they do have Primarina here, I'm honestly not too concerned. Things got like, what, 170 I want to say? 180? Yeah, okay. 180 health. Does 100 damage. We can take that with Medicham, I think. Pretty easy. Especially if it's down to 160, right? They do have, like, they could run how, I don't know how you say it. Right, and that would allow them to do 30 more damage, but that's not really too big of a deal. How much did that heal? 20? Okay. So that just negated Jolteon is all. So I guess that said, Jolteon isn't really going to help us much more anymore. I guess healing is the biggest thing I have to deal with now, right? Does this Maid do anything for me? I don't think it does. All I have left in the deck is another Medicham, but I can use May for the sake of just completely ruining their copycat, if they even thought about using it. Yeah, there's Medicham. Glad we all know it's there. I might as well start building up this other Meditite in the meantime, actually, just in case. So yeah, we do 110 thanks to our lovely little stadium over there, which actually means that unless they have some other form of healing, which, I mean, come on, they've drawn like half their deck, they probably do. But if they don't, we can knock out this Primarina because it can only heal 20 damage, right? So that'll be good. Yeah, Team Rocket sucks. Yeah, I guess actually even 100 damage would have been enough for the Primarina, because if it only heals 20, like, if it goes back up from 80 to 100, that's still just 100 more damage and we knock it out, right? So I guess either way, Medicham would be strong enough. I do kind of wonder what they're going to pull up after Primarina. Could be Greninja EX, could just be like regular supporter Greninjas for their shurikens. Okay, yeah, they're retreating to Froakie and dealing 10 damage. I don't really know where that gets them, honestly. And we have our Dawn now. That's a big deal. I think I don't really need it yet, right? And what are the chances that they Mars me in a hand where I only have Dawn and have taken no prizes, right? So I'm just going to knock them out regularly and save it. I don't really foresee a way that they could knock me out with the Pokemon they have left, especially since they sent Froakie up and not Poplio. It's going to be difficult, right? Because with two Greninjas, they could have done 20, 20, and then hit with How for 130. Now I don't know what they're going to do. Are they just like stalling, hoping they get a Lily or something? That seems like about the only reasonable thing. Oh, they could just also be getting another Primarina. Oh no, no, Greninja. Okay. So they can't attack with this Greninja unless they have some means of getting extra energy, and I guess they haven't used a supporter yet, so if they have Misty with them, they could use it, but if they have Misty, that'd be crazy, because this deck is already kind of packed with a lot of different supporters. Yeah, no, it's just another failed Team Rocket. Really unfortunate for them with those Team Rockets, by the way. Like, if they could land a good 2 of those, they'd have really halted my progress. Okay, well, we have 2 win conditions here. We have Cyrus, who is the obvious one, that will win us the game right away, and we have Dawn, who would put them into such a situation that they couldn't deal enough damage anyways, so... Yeah, man! They were in a pretty rough situation there. I would have left the Primarina up if I was them. I mean, I know it would have got knocked out, and that would have been 2 points for them, but at least they wouldn't have been in that big of a predicament as they were. That's unfortunate. but good game nonetheless. Alright, we're up against Sonata. Yeah, that's probably right. Whatever. It's a dark type deck. So, well, who knows who it could be. But we're starting with Eevee and Jolteon, so we get to get those two out right away, which is really nice. Hopefully that Pokeball gives us a Giratina, so we can get our Giratina out as well. Obviously. I don't know why I said it like that. We did get our Meditite, so that's not bad. And we got another Pokeball to burn, so we can go ahead and do that. We don't have Copycat ourselves. If we did, it'd be really nice. But we can just totally mess up their Copycat. And there's the Giratina we were looking for. Perfect. Alright, yeah. Have fun with that hand. And we'll get our energy for Giratina for next turn. Well, not next turn, but whenever we happen to put Meditite up there. Medicham. We have Medicham in our hand as well. That was a really good starting hand. If we had Copycat, that would just top things off. Honestly, I'd take Research even. Like, I'd take anything. That was a good hand. I would take Dawn. Dawn would end them. That Oricorio is not going to help them, that's for sure. Our Meditite goes... Not our Meditite. Our, well, I guess Meditite too. Our Medicham goes right through that. I find Darkrai against Jolteon to be really funny. Like you're just hitting yourself as well. Oh yeah, and we get extra Jolteon damage against the Oricorio as well. Two reasons that Meditite is good here. Alright, we can evolve into our Medicham. Now one of two that we have in our hands, apparently. Get another energy on our Giratina. We can just kind of chill for a while here, honestly. I mean, they're going to be damaging themselves just by putting energy on. Our Medicham hits through most stuff, and I think the Darkrai is weak to grass, so that's not really a thing here, but we do 110, so if they try to attack us with Darkrai and they don't have any sort of healing for it, we win. Another damage for the Oricorios. You know, it'd almost kind of be funny to add, like, Team Rocket to this deck, just because people would be self-damaging themselves so much more. Anyways, regardless, we got Dawn, which is really good for us, because that means that their Darkrai is now doomed no matter what. Also, we get to knock out Oricorio next turn if we want to, no matter what, because we don't have to worry about whether we retreat or not. That said, they are actually going to be able to get our Jolteon thanks to the Darkrai's damage. I guess that does add up to 70 per turn if you think... Why didn't they hit me? Well, that was weird. Well, luckily for me, I don't really care if they hit me with Darkrai, because I can just hit them with my Medicham. And if they bring up Darkrai now, no matter what, they should just get knocked out, because I do 150. And that's a lot of damage. Oh my gosh. We've had a phenomenal hand so far. I don't know what they're gonna do. Yeah, I mean, this Pichu isn't gonna do anything. Darkrai does like, what, 80 damage? So even with his little Tic Tacs, it's not gonna, like, knock our Medicham out. And if we get Cyrus, I mean, it's totally over. This was a Kangaskhan deck? Okay. I guess Kangaskhan can really be anything, you know? Yeah, okay. They've got the multiple energies, they got everything. Like, I see it. Like, this would be really good if you got the right start. That's so weird. Alright, I'm just gonna research. I want my Cyrus. There we go. Yep, now they're for sure done for by next turn. This Kangaskhan has a maximum damage output of 160. Oh, you almost got me. Right, because 160, that would end our game. Right? 160 against Mega Medicham, plus the 20 damage from this fella right here, plus Juggler would get it onto him. Oh wait, no, they don't have a water energy yet. Well, might as well just knock it out, but could also be beneficial to retreat into Jolteon here. Nah, they can't knock us out, right? They need 3 energy to use Juggler, right? 3 different energies. As of now, they only have Dark and Electric, and they have no way to attach any other type of energy. In their discard pile, they only have Electric and Dark, which means they can't get it out of there either with like Flame Patch or something. They don't even have Fire. You know what? Taking too much time. Let's get him, right? We're gonna be fine. They can't like double use red or something. They don't have Oricorio. They don't have anything crazy. We can knock this guy out, right? We have Cyrus and everything. If they knock me out here, I'm gonna be like shocked and appalled, genuinely. Like, I don't know how they would do it. Okay, so I guess we were gonna end up with Jolteon in the active spot anyways. Yeah, their fate is sealed already, so I'm just gonna put Medicham up into the active spot. Oh my gosh. Man, this would have been so bad if we weren't prepared. Luckily, we got our Cyrus. 2 Cyruses. I'd like 1 Darkrai, please. Thank you. And yeah, we can just take it from here. Yeah, they conceded. I mean, once you know it's over, right? Man, that was good though. I mean, that went exactly as planned. We got our Jolteon, we got our Giratina, we got our Medicham up there. We went through an Oricorio, which is hilarious. Yeah, that card is honestly really good. Good game. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure to check out this next one. Thanks, have a great day. Peace.